We are used to thinking we know the ocean, its color, its taste, its scent. But the truth is, it's too vast for our perception. A sailor in the Atlantic will tell you it's blue. But would he be right in the Arctic, where the water turns a haunting shade of gray? To some, it's a warm, tropical paradise. To others, it's a crushing shield of ice. The ocean is not just water. It hides mountains taller than Everest and canyons deeper than the Grand Canyon, all silent and invisible to our eyes. In this video, we will reveal the truth. What monsters actually roam the abyss? Where did life begin, and which of our ancestors already knew the answer? Why is the ocean so complex, and what are we constantly trying to find in the places where we no longer belong? Welcome to the depths. Meet the Leviathan. This is how people in the 16th century imagined the creatures of the deep. Terrifying, isn't it? Let's fast forward. In the 1950s, the research vessel Vityaz set out to uncover the true scale of these monsters. The scientists were stunned, but not by their size. On the contrary, they were amazed by how small these creatures actually were. Look at this press. Objects must adapt to their environment. It's a law of the universe. To survive under crushing pressure, you must become smaller. At the bottom of the ocean, life followed this very rule. But pressure also creates strange forms. For example, this is the blobfish. It looks sad not because of property prices this year, but because its body isn't adapted to our pressure. Up here, it literally falls apart. But do giants truly exist? Yes, the siphonophore, a living colony tens of meters long. And the giant squid, which became the prototype for the legendary kraken. These species prove that our ancestors might have truly encountered giant creatures. But likely, they were the species we know today, transformed into legends. We were all born from our mothers. At the very least, I would be surprised if someone answered otherwise. And at some point, each of us has wondered, if my mother had a mother and she had her own, then where is the beginning of this endless chain? We won't go into Darwin's theory in detail now. It deserves a separate film. But if we follow this logic, sooner or later, we will find ourselves at the edge of the ocean. This is exactly where the longest and most complex process in human history began. What was the probability of this? It is practically zero. Just like the probability that billions of years later, you would be sitting here watching this video. But if the probability is not absolute zero, it means that sooner or later, the emergence of life becomes inevitable. But what lies beyond this conditional line between land, man, and what is hidden in the ocean? Processes took place there that turned hell into a cradle. At the bottom, in the most aggressive place on the planet, in hydrothermal vents or black smokers, life originated at a temperature of 400 degrees. There is no sunlight here, not photosynthesis, but the energy of chemosynthetic bacteria reigns supreme. These are isolated oases, independent ecosystems existing at a depth of more than 2,500 meters. In 2016, studies confirmed our last universal common ancestor, called Luca, lived right here 3.8 billion years ago. Surprisingly, the ancient Sumerians, one of the first civilizations, believed that the world arose from the goddess Namu, who embodied the primordial ocean, and the ancient Egyptians worshipped the god Nun, the chaos of water from which all life emerged. Ancient people did not know biology, but they felt the truth. Life came from the abyss. One question remains. What happened before this moment, and where else must a human foot step to find the final answer? Why is the ocean so complex, and what are we constantly trying to find in a place where we no longer belong? Most likely you have already begun to answer this question while watching this video. The ocean is not just water, it is the foundation of our existence. Complex chemical and biological processes take place here, on a scale measured in billions of years. Today we study the ocean not as a collection of individual creatures or places, but as a single system where every factor affects the other. We strive to unlock its secrets to make our lives better. And here, it is important to understand one thing. We must protect the ocean. Not because the ocean needs it. The ocean is billions of years old. It has seen the birth and death of entire species, and it will surely outlive us. We need to protect it for ourselves. The ocean governs the climate, the temperature, and the global processes on which every breath we take depends. We are not just protecting the water, we are protecting our future. Because in the end, the ocean is us.